Just as we've seen time and time again in the Marvel Cinematic Universe over the past several years, Kevin Feige and company over there at Disney decided to take a character that has been rejected time and time again in the comic books by fans and give her her own show. And just as we've seen time and time again, in all likelihood, it's going to be a massive fail. And that, of course, is Riri Williams in Ironheart. And it's clear that Marvel has no faith in this whatsoever. It's been delayed like 3 years, like they were trying to do everything they could to either fix it or not put this thing out. But they finally dropped a trailer 40 days before the thing actually releases on Disney Plus. And predictably, it got completely and totally annihilated. And even though you've got a lot of people out there that are saying the only reason people are doing this is because it's about a black protagonist, that's the only reason people are disliking it. Maybe people don't like the character. Maybe people think the trailer is cringe. Maybe people have had enough of this type of shit from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because it's weird. Other MCU trailers, even movies that are full of black people, like, I don't know, Wakanda Forever, doesn't seem to get ratioed, but Ironheart gets absolutely destroyed. It's approaching 500,000 dislikes, sitting here at 451,000 dislikes to 200,000 likes. They're getting obliterated in the comments section. And of course, one of the things that a lot of people are saying is, hey, this seems like a DEI replacement for Iron Man, which of course in the books is exactly what it was intended to be. Didn't go over very well, continued to get canceled time and time again. Well, now we've got the star that's coming out to make some clarifications, guys. Hey, she's not like Tony Stark. She's not supposed to be a Tony Stark replacement, guys. And in fact, you shouldn't even compare the characters, despite the fact that the armor's so similar, despite all these things, because in reality, Riri Williams is way more impressive than Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. Of course she is. Ironheart star Dominique Thorne distances herself from Iron Man comparisons in new interview. Despite the robot suit, Ironheart's Riri Williams and Iron Man's Tony Stark are very different characters, and Dominique Thorne explains exactly how. If this is your approach to maybe take some of this backlash, be like, don't worry guys, blah, 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 I don't know if this is the right way to go about it, because this is the perspective, right? Tony Stark, I mean, he's a white guy. He's a billionaire. He's got all this access to stuff. Riri Williams, she's just a poor black girl. So it's actually way more impressive what she's doing. This is the narrative that they're pushing forward, and I don't know if it's going to work out very well for them. In a recent interview with SFX Magazine, star Dominique Thorne has opened up about the upcoming Disney Plus series and the challenges Riri will face in a post-Endgame MCU. With Iron Man dead and no clear successor stepping into his armored shoes, fans and critics have been quick to assume that Riri will be plugged into that role. Isn't it funny, too? Like, we've had War Machine for, like, a long-ass time in the MCU. But no, she has to step in, right? But Thorne says the similarities between Iron Man and Ironheart largely end there, and that Riri Williams, quote, is not Tony Stark. There's a clear understanding she's not Tony Stark. She doesn't have $1 billion at her disposal. She doesn't have the resources. She doesn't have the mentorship or the guidance. So don't you understand? This character isn't Tony Stark. She's way, way better than he could ever imagine being. She's not a billionaire. She doesn't have the resources. She's just a poor black kid. So what she's doing is even more impressive than what we saw Tony Stark do. Now, of course, a lot of these things fail to mention that the first Iron Man suit was created in a fucking cave with spare parts. But, you know, Riri Williams, she's just incredible. She's just so amazing. And because there's been so much criticism about them overlooking that fact, this article does include this line. It's a stark contrast to Tony's journey to become a hero. While Tony first built his Iron Man suit alone, he was also a self-proclaimed genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist with access to endless funding, powerful allies, and advanced tech. Riri, by contrast, is a teenager from a working-class family in Chicago who has limited means and finds herself navigating MIT trauma and street-level threats without a team or a safety net. Man, it's funny, because when you first started promoting this, you were talking about all the connections. You were using Robert Downey Jr. to try to promote this. You were saying, hey, Robert Downey Jr. gave me 2 thumbs up for the show. You don't want to let down Iron Man, guys. Ironheart's Dominique Thorne got 2 thumbs up from Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. and I spoke just after we wrapped, and he shared some very lovely words about my journey. He told me how excited he was, and he's rooting for it too. I literally got 2 thumbs up. It's really reassuring to know you're not embarrassing Iron Man. It's weird. You want these connections because you wanted to try to promote the show that way. But now that people are saying, yeah, this is clearly just same as it was in the comics, right? It was like, hey, let's do Iron Man, but let's make it a teenage black girl. Let's really push the representation. Just like we saw Marvel doing a lot with a lot of their different legacy characters, having these different characters that were supposed to act as DEI replacements. They all failed. And now they're all bringing them to the MCU, even though no fans are interested in seeing it. But now you're like, hey, hold on. She's no Tony Stark. In fact, she's much more impressive. I don't know if that's the way you want to go about promoting this by saying how much better Riri Williams is than Tony Stark, but that's what they're doing. Somehow, I don't think it's going to help Ironheart. Somehow, I don't think people are going to tune in, and somehow I think, just as we saw in the comics, it fell over and over again. It's going to be a massive failure for Marvel. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.